Settling who? Settling what? Settling where? Sis, the settling has come to a complete end. I'll be sharing with you the holy grail, the holy grail to never ever settle again a day in your life. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Angel, a female mindset, money, and manifestation coach that focuses on teaching women how to live beyond the status quo and live limitless like a boss. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you're notified every single time I drop something new. Let's get on into this tea. Settling is literally accepting anything in life that you know is less than what you actually deserve. And that means in any area of life. And let me also say this. You get in life what you accept. Let me run that back for you. You get in life what you actually accept. So if you accept being underpaid and overworked, that is what you're going to continuously get in life. If you accept relationships and friendships who are one-sided, that is what you're going to continue to get in life. If you accept living in poverty, right, that is what you're going to continue to get in life. If you accept internally that you're not a baddie, that you don't have self-confidence, that you're very small when it comes to self-esteem, your self-worth is very minute, guess what? You're going to get more of that in life. It's going to show up more and more and more and more in your life. So one of the first things to being able to overcome any type of settling in your life is to first identify where the settling came from. Where did the settling emotions, the feelings, the mindset come from in your life? What was the starting point? What was the foundation of you even having habits of settling? And it can be all sorts of things. We can look back in time on the way that we were raised. Everyone has a specific household manner of how they were raised. And or maybe you did not have a role model to teach you certain things about self-worth. Maybe you were in a situation where no one led you. You didn't have anyone leading you along the path of life, right? It all starts from somewhere. And I'll give another example. You know, a lot of people in life in here settle for the status quo, or what I call the status quo of living to society's expectation of what a human is supposed to do. And what I mean by that is a lot of people live to the standard of you go to school, you go to college, you get a job, you work for somebody until retirement age, you retire. Make sure you have some type of a nest egg for your family to leave them when you actually go on to the other side, and that's your whole entire life, right? But what happens if you feel that that is not something that you really want for yourself and for your life? What if you feel that that is not your purpose? Your purpose is not to work for somebody forever, right? But you're settling into this mode of being because society and the way that you were brought up has taught you that this is the way you are supposed to live. It still is settling. And I'm here to tell you that no matter how you look at situations in your life, no matter how you validate situations in your life, if it doesn't sit right in your heart and in your core, you are settling. So we want to make sure that we're identifying what actually started the starting point of you actually settling. So now that we know the starting point, let's actually move to what are we actually settling for today? What are you currently settling for in your everyday life? Is it relationships? Is it a partner who is not reciprocating what you're giving, right? Sis, are they not giving out the vibes that you're giving? Like, what's going on, right? What is happening? What is happening in your today life that you may be settling for? Are you still living in a location, in an area that you don't want to live in, right? You want to be higher. You want to live in luxury. You want to live in high value and high class, right? What are you currently settling for? Identify the areas in your life right now that you currently are having or struggling with settling on, so that as you continue to progress and identify and move through life, you know what your non-negotiables are when it comes to settling completely and 100%. You can be settling internally, right? And it can be self-worth. Like, you may not have very good self-worth. You may not think that you are worth a lot, right? And it shows up in your life. It shows up in your reality on a daily basis. And in these moments, right, we want to make sure that we're also identifying internally, what are we settling for? And to help you even more with self-confidence, self-worth, with internal things, I actually have created a 4-day self-confidence playbook that gives you 4 days of things and activities and routines to do to help enhance your self-confidence. You can find that link. I'll put it down in the description for you, because I really want you guys to be able to really understand the consequences of settling, and never ever settle for less than what you deserve ever again. Let's get on to the next one. Now that you know the current habits in your life that are associated with settling, now we're going to dive a little deeper and actually go into the habits that are associated in your current life today with settling. Well, what is the difference, right? Areas of your life would necessarily be, okay, I'm settling in my relationship. I'm settling at work. I'm settling in certain friendships, right? Habits are, what do you do internally that triggers the settling? Is it when something presents itself that you know, right? Because as women, come on, sis, you know when you are settling. You know when it's like, oh yeah, no. This is something that is like a non-negotiable. I told myself I was not going to do, or I told myself I was worthy of more, and I'm doing it, right? Or I'm accepting that job promotion that is only paying me $1 more, right? When really I know I'm worth, and the work that I've put in at this job is worth not only a significant bump in my income, but a yearly bonus, right? So you know the habits, you know the mindset that you take when you're presented in life with something that either you have to pick a high road or you have to pick to settle. What are those habits? Is it that you go back and forth with yourself? Is it that you validate your reasoning for settling? Right? In relationships, it could be, oh, well, you know, he has a very good heart, though his actions don't always show it. Apples, sis. What? Huh? Sis, no. No, he's not showing it. He's not showing up in the manner in which he's supposed to show up, because you are a boss, babe, honey. I mean, and you got a vibe that's crazy that nobody can match, and he's not showing up. He's not showing up. Oh no, we don't do the not showing up, honey. That's what I'm saying. What habits happen in your life when you come across situations where you either have to pick, I'm going to hold to my worth, or I'm going to settle? What do you do internally when that happens? So now, right, we've been able to identify where the settling pattern started, We've been able to identify what we're currently settling for in our life today. You've also been able to identify the habits that you're currently doing that solidify you settling, right? So how do you get past all of that? How do we push forward? How do we get past all of those things that have stopped us and have literally kept us stagnant because we have settled in so many areas of our life, right? And this is something I'm very passionate about because I hate to see females settling. I hate to see females not understanding their worth. Because sis, you run the world. Like, you don't understand the power that you have inside of you. You don't understand the power and the things that exude from you to other people. Okay? How many women do you know run households? How many women do you know keep relationships together? How many women do you know are great leaders? How many women do you know are bosses? Okay? Don't ever underestimate, ever underestimate your power as a woman and settle for less than what you deserve. So we're going to push past all of that. We're going to move right on through it. We're going to make sure that there's no settling, right? But this is where action comes in, because you have to put your warrior gear on. You got to put your savage gear on, right? And you have to push through and push forward. And here's what I mean by that. We've been able to identify all these things. We've been able to identify what has held you back, where it started, what you're doing today that's preventing you from actually going towards what you deserve, right? And in order to continue to push past that, you're going to have to make some very tough decisions starting today. And it may be falling back from that relationship, because I have to preserve what I know my worth is and never settle for what you trying to just give me. Thank you, but I'm good. Thank you, love. I'm good. Right? It may be that you need to actually start to position yourself out of that low paying job into a new one if they don't see your worth. It may be, right, that you need to start looking in that dream neighborhood. Start going through that dream neighborhood that you envision yourself living in and calling out that that is yours. Look at apartments. Look at open houses. Go into the houses and look at them. It just makes you one step closer to your reality. Start that business that maybe is on your heart that you don't feel like you have the to do. Don't settle for the life that you think you are supposed to live, for the life that you actually can be living, and that is your dream life. It's time that you make some decisions and some real life decisions. And then let me also just say this. During this process of never settling again, you also want to be very crystal clear on what your desires are. You want to be very crystal clear on what your visions are. You want to be very crystal clear on where you want to go and the path you want to take. So you have to get very, very, very specific on your desires. I want to make $10,000 a month. I want to live in Vegas. I want to live in a high-rise apartment with bay windows, with ceiling to floor windows that I can just look out of. I want to live in LA. I want to drive a BMW. I want to drive a Range Rover. I want to drive a Maybach. You have to be specific because you're the only one who has the power to be able to look at your life and move towards what you actually want and desire. So sis, thanks for stopping by. I hope that this video gave you value. Make sure that you get your 4-day self-confidence playbook down below. The link is in the description. Also, make sure that you follow me on Instagram. I would love to hear from you. DM me, let's chat, say hey. And make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and you turn on the bell notification so that you're notified every single time I drop a new video and you don't miss anything. Love you.